This is just the lethal line, right? It's exactly 16. Probably was a million different ways to do this, but we found one of them. And that's good enough for me. Hello, and welcome, everybody. We are here for match 3 with Academic Amulet. We're going on a field trip, and we're going to learn some lessons. Maybe we'll see Miss Frizzle on the way. We have a couple of lessons in the sideboard to go along, and if you are not familiar with this deck list or how it came to be, then go check out match 1, where I cover in detail what this deck list includes, what it does not include, what changes I have made. So if that's something you're interested in, then check out match 1, as I will not be discussing that here. Yeah, we lost the last round to a very proficient Tron player, I would say. And you know what? Sometimes that happens, and I'm happy to lose to an opponent who can play well and mulligans the way they're supposed to. So, speaking of that, let's hop into this match where maybe we can be proficient enough to get a win here. I will see you guys in the games. Alright, let's hop into this match. I'm excited to get it underway. Trying to see if there's any legs to this whole field trip idea. Playing against MTG Skeggy. Can't say I'm familiar. They might want to choose to be on the play. Oftentimes I say that a pause like this is indicative of our opponent having, for example, a companion. So I'm kind of expecting a companion to get revealed here. Oof, this hand's close. This hand is mighty close. We need any land source here. Even if we top deck like a Talari West, we could still play Amulet on 2, and then Sanctuary, Tribe Scout, leaving the Sanctuary in play, and have Vesuva to potentially play Titan on turn 3 here. So I think we're supposed to keep this. We can also just Vesuva our opponent's land on turn 1, actually, now I'm thinking about it. So we don't need another land. We can play Vesuva copying whatever this is, even if it's a fetch land that they leave uncracked. Like, let's say they just passed. They don't pass. But let's say they had passed. We could play Vesuva copying the Foothills, sacrifice it to go get... Actually, I suppose if we had to sacrifice our Vesuva, then we wouldn't be able to copy the bounce land, so we would be one short of having Titan on turn 3, but regardless. And we're playing against Dredge again. I've played against a lot of Dredge recently. I find that very intriguing. Definitely a good thing for us, not a bad thing. No reason to pay the 2 life on this Vesuva here, as it would enter tapped regardless. Stomping Ground, you're lying. We can't pay 2 life to make you enter untapped. It's okay. It's our fault, not Stomping Ground's fault. Our opponent finds a Narcomoeba with nothing else to trigger, which is actually amazing for us. The fewer prize amalgams our opponent gets into play for free with Narcomoebas, the better. So now they'd have to hit one of 3 remaining Narcomoebas, I can't say that word, in addition to several prize amalgams to generate a board state. I should just stop talking at this point. Ooh, Bloodghast. This is one we have not seen in a while. A lot of people have been on the Silver Smoke Ghoul tech, which I never liked, personally. Like, as a control player, Bloodghast was so much more annoying to me. I don't know if the difference is significant here in the matchup as it currently is, but... Alright, well, we have double Amulet, which is quite intriguing. We'll probably be able to kill our opponent next turn if we're not just straight up dead. So let's go ahead and get the Sanctuary out. We'll play Scout and another Amulet, and we'll see where we can go from there. Not going to yield here. And I am going to pick up the Vesuva here, just so we have 2 mana in play. Alright, we'll play Scout, and then we'll play Amulet, and we'll pass it back, and we'll have Titan this upcoming turn, probably with Dryad as well. If we draw another land, getting Valka triggers should be pretty easy. To be honest, we can probably just put double Titan into play and, you know, haste both and double strike both and do all the good things. I don't know if we could haste and double strike both. We could definitely haste both. I don't know if we could double strike both. We might only be able to double strike one, but that might be good enough. This will be an interesting upcoming turn. Thrilling Discovery. I don't think we're going to be dead this turn, so we might as well start doing the calculations. So, if we play Vesuva immediately, we'll have 6 mana. Tribe Scout activation is 10. So we go down to 7 to play Dryad, up to 11. Titan, leaving 5 floating. Get, Boros... No, I guess we wouldn't want to get Boros Garrison, since we have the Vesuva as well. So we get... say, Sanctuary and Gruul Turf, leave red-white floating if at all possible, pack for another Titan. We'd only have to use 6 of the mana, and we would get 8 mana from the lands entering play, so interesting. We could also scout in the Vesuva instant speed to copy Garrison, so we'd have enough mana to Oh, drawing the stronghold is quite the annoyance. So we might have to Vesuva copying the stronghold to haste both Titans. Or not. I suppose we could play Titan, use the Titan to make the mana to get another Titan, and... No, but then we'd still have to get a second trigger of the stronghold somehow. So I think we're going to have to Vesuva our stronghold in order to haste both Titans. If we played land, floated a bunch of mana, picked up the Vesuva, played Titan, got Crumbling Vestige. This is complicated. We definitely have a kill here. I'm just not sure what the most efficient way to go about it is. So we can definitely put Dryad into play before we put a second Titan. We'll have 5 mana floating, or 1 mana if we don't use the Tribe Scout immediately. Alright, well, I think step 1 is just playing the Dryad, so let's do that. Oh, and the Dryad gives us additional mana as well, so we're probably worrying about too much here. We just have the nuts, so let's just, cast our cards. Pick up the Vesuva, I suppose. We'll play Dryad. Play Vesuva, copying the Sanctuary, and we can flash the Vesuva in to copy Boros Garrison if we have to. We'll untap, float, untap, float, and we'll pick up the Vesuva again. We could pact, I guess, for a second Azusa, or a second Dryad or an Azusa here. We pack for Azusa, play Stronghold of Vesuva, copying Sanctuary, and then pick itself back up, and then play Vesuva, copying Stronghold, and then play Titan. We can get the red mana that we need to activate Stronghold. Let's see, we would spend 3 mana, go down to 3 green and 2 white floating. Vesuva, Stronghold would put us up to, let's see, 5 plus 4 to be 9 mana plus the Stronghold. So our Titan would be able to allow us to search for another Titan. Yeah, I think we can play Azusa and still be able to copy our Stronghold with the Vesuva here. Let me just double check. So we pack for Azusa, go down to 5 mana. We play the Azusa, leaving that 5 mana. We play Stronghold, Vesuva, copying Sanctuary. That puts us up to 9 mana. And then we pick up the Vesuva, keep it in hand, so we can flash it into copy Stronghold, which should already be in play. We play Titan, leaving 3 mana floating, get Selesnya Sanctuary, Talaria West. Not Selesnya Sanctuary, what am I saying? Similar Growth Chamber, Talaria West. That makes 6 mana plus the 3 we had floating. We transmute for Summoner's Pact, pack for a second Titan, play it. Tribe Scout in response to the trigger, the Vesuva to copy Stronghold. No, we do that after the Titan trigger resolves. So Titan trigger resolves, we get Boros Garrison and some other land. And then we Tribe Scout in the Vesuva in response to the amulet triggers. No, we would have to float the mana first. But yeah, we can definitely do all of this. So we'll pact for Azusa here. Play Azusa, leaving 4 floating. Ooh, I think that's 1 short. No, but we can tap the Stronghold. Okay, yeah, so we're good here. Vesuva, copy the Sanctuary. We'll untap, float, untap, float. We'll float this for a blue, I suppose. Sure, we'll pick up the Vesuva, play Titan. And we'll leave the blue floating, I suppose. We have our 3, so we can transmute another Talaria West for another Summoner's Pact. This is quite the line, don't you think? Okay, sorry for the amount of time this has taken. See, blue, float, untap, float, float, pick up a T-West, transmute, leave 6 mana floating, get Summoner's Pact, pact for Titan, play Titan, and then we're going to flash in Vesuva, copying our Stronghold. Alright, so here we need Boros Garrison for sure, and then something else. I suppose it might as well be a Valakut. Sure. Alright, so we'll untap these two first things first, and float with them. Float a red. Untap them both again. Float a white here. We'll flash in our Vesuva, copying Slayer's Stronghold. And our opponent scoops it up. Alright, so we found the line. Oh, man. I just wanted to attack with 2 Titans. What can I say? Okay. Alright, so against Dredge. Our opponent's playing the white version, so it means they're unlikely to be playing Blood Moon or anything, so the Forces, Rexage, that kind of thing, I'm not super interested in. And the same goes with Magus of the Moon, so we probably don't need Dismember. Which means I think I'm just submitting the same 60. I don't think we need to bring in any of these. I suppose Tracker's defensible if our opponent has discard spells. Maybe we need to have enough land drops and cards to draw in order to find a second copy of Primeval Titan, but whatever. I'm just submitting it. What would we cut anyways? I guess we could trim on field trips to bring in trackers. I don't know. Overgrown Arch, maybe. I highly doubt that would be a useful one. Let me know if you found a better line than the one that I chose. It's very possible you did. I'm not sure. We got 2 Titans into play attacking with Dryad and Valcut in play, so that probably is the line that does the most damage, but I'm not sure. And obviously we have a turn 1 Tribe Scout, turn 2 Amulet, or turn 2 Field Trip even. So we're definitely going to keep this. See what our opponent has here. Still need to draw a Titan, but... I mean, we actually might be able to basic Conjuration for a Titan. Explorer is pretty welcome. I'm just going to play turn 1 Tribe Scout here. If our opponent does have the interaction for it, like a Dark Blast or Lava Axe or whatever, and they want to kill our Scout, then we can just turn 2 Explore into another land, play Amulet, and try to go from there, I suppose. Given the option between Explore and Field Trip, I think I'll probably cast Field Trip, just because it's more mana efficient, and it also still ramps us, so... Cathartic. Of course, our opponent has the turn 2 Cathartic. It could have been that or the Thrilling Discovery, so that's fine. They do find a Conflagrate of note. They have 1 Prize Amalgam as well. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to Field Trip here. I don't see a reason not to. Get our green source in play for potentially activating a Garen Brig or casting a Titan or whatever. Hey, we're finally doing the thing. We're casting Field Trip. We'll definitely get a basic forest here, and let's search for basic Conjuration, I do think. I'm trying to cast Primeval Titan. Don't tell me otherwise. Admittedly, I'm actually pretty impressed by the turn 2 Field Trip. If we drew a bounce land, we could play Amulet, and then have bounce land played for turn, and then also from Tribe Scout. That's 4 mana plus the 3 is 7, so we wouldn't be able to Conjuration into a Titan and cast it, but we could Conjuration into a 3-drop and cast it, which is interesting. Thrilling Discovery also. Our opponent's going super deep here. They've already got half their deck either in the graveyard or in their hand or in play. Shame we couldn't have found Bajuka Bog with this Field Trip, huh? Our opponent has Blast Zone as well. That's interesting. All the Prize Amalgams. Triggers, triggers, triggers. Okay. Well, we can Explore and cast basic Conjuration this turn, so... And then next turn we could play Amulet, land, Scout in a land, and be able to cast Titan if we find it, so... We also wouldn't expose our Amulet to the Blast Zone that's currently in play. We're a little bit slow here, but... We could start with an Explore as well. I don't think that changes anything. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. I think it makes us more likely to potentially find a creature off of our Conjuration, so... Well, there's our Titan. That definitely informs what we want to get with our Conjuration when we cast it. Oh, we can actually put Amulet into play this turn if we want to. I don't think we have to, though. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Conjuration, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I think we want to hold on to the Amulet so our opponent can't just Blast Zone it away. See what we find with our Conjuration. A Dryad, that's fine. We could actually just play all of our lands out here. I'm gonna play the Dryad, not the Dryad, the Valakut, and just pass. Again, no reason to expose our amulet, so. I suppose if we Conjuration first, we might have been able to put a Dryad into play this turn rather than Explore. I'm not sure. Yeah, we definitely could have. So maybe sequencing the Explore before the Conjuration was a mistake for that reason. Let me know what you think in the comments, obviously. I wonder if we're dead here. Our opponent does have Conflagrate ready to go and 7 cards in hand, but we've gained 3 life from our Conjuration and 2 life from our Radiant Fountain. That incidental life gain coming through. Field Trip actually looking pretty decent this game, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that Field Trip would be good against Dredge, but I mean, here we are. Of course, I have to give myself a little bit of credit here for playing enough untapped green sources to be able to do a 3-drop on turn 2, even with Scout. If you're playing only, like, 8 green sources or whatever, 8 untapped sources, then you very well may not be able to cast your turn 3 or turn 2 3-drop off of Scout. So it's definitely good to be cognizant of that. My opponent has tapped their Blast Zone as well now, so we know that our Amulet plus Titan turn is good to go here. See what our opponent has. They are going after the Sakura Tribe Scout, so let's yield to their City of Brass, and then we'll go ahead and put our extra land into play here. Boom. They Conflagrated for exactly 1? That feels like such a waste. Why would you do that? That's fine, I guess. I mean, the Conflagrate gets exiled, so it's not like they can do anything else with it. Right, well, we have a Titan turn. Oh, double Amulet. That's interesting. Is our opponent just dead? We get Vesuva, copying Stronghold, Boros Garrison. Oh, we have the Sunhome in play too. We have to have exactly the Sunhome and the Stronghold in play here, don't we? Alright, so obviously we're playing an Amulet. That's pretty much guaranteed. Tap 6, play Titan, get Vesuva, copying Stronghold and Boros, haste, attack, get Bog, and maybe just Valakut, or Bog plus Bounce Land. Bog plus Bounce Land lets us put Dryad into play and then get an additional Valakut trigger. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, we actually can't do anything else before we play our Titan here, since we only have exactly 6 mana, so let's just do it. Yes. So, we could Vesuva copying Bounce Land and get another Bounce Land, float 4, play Amulet, play Dryad, play Boros Garrison, no, play Vesuva. No, that wouldn't let us haste. Alright, well, let's just do the simple thing. We'll get Garrison and Vesuva and just haste here. Probably don't need to do anything too spectacular, I would say. We can always yield when we only have 1 Amulet in play. And we will haste here, obviously. I guess we just pick up the Vesuva. I don't see why not. Oh, we do have an additional land drop. I didn't realize we hadn't played land for turn. We definitely could have gotten Dryad plus another Amulet in play here. Oh well. Yeah, maybe missed a route to lethal. Is there a way we can play Dryad post-combat? I guess we could attack and get Fetch Land and Bounce Land. Pick up a Bounce Land, play Dryad, play Vesuva copying, like, Bounce Land, then Vesuva copying Valakut. Or we also, I guess we can, oh no, hold on. Here's the lethal line. We just Vesuva copying Sunhome, and then attack, get double Bounce Land. The Garrison and, not the Garrison, the Slayers. I'm just gonna stop talking and just do it. Selesnya Sanctuary and Gruul Turf. I am psyching myself out here. This is just the lethal line, right? It's exactly 16. Boom. Probably was a million different ways to do this, but we found one of them. And that's good enough for me. Okay. leave it to an Amulet player to try to look for the best line and miss obvious lethal. That was almost me just now. That's one of the things that makes Amulet complex, is you want to do so many things that you end up losing sight of just killing your opponent. So, luckily, we found the lethal line. And clearly, you don't have to be able to find the exact best line at all times in order to be able to win with the deck. Sure, you can make a line that plays around some kind of crazy interaction your opponent could have. Like, say our opponent had Slaughter Pact or something, then maybe we could have won with Dryad triggers instead. But the upside of playing Amulet is that even if you just choose the line that's weak to your opponent having it out, sometimes they just don't have it. So just going for the most basic lethal line that you can think of is sometimes good enough. So anyways, if you are interested in learning the basic lethal lines of Amulet, not in this context, and more of a well-thought-out context where I know what I'm doing, then go check out my Introduction to Amulet video, link in the description below. I've done 2 of them now, one on basic concepts for the deck, and one on pattern recognition and ways to cast Titan early, things along those lines, the card choices, that kind of stuff. So if you haven't seen those, then check them out, and I will see you guys for the next match. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.